Hey Sagittarius, welcome to Light Guided. Lisa here to do your monthly energy reading. I have to tell you, this has been a strange start to your reading so far. I am hearing the song for some of you, Midnight Special. I think it's, is it a Creedence Clearwater song or is it a Grateful Dead song? I'm not actually sure. I think it's a Creedence Clearwater song. But I'm hearing that song loud and clear, so that's a message for someone here. What also happened that was very interesting, I had started your reading previously and I had an interruption. There was a presence here that really wants to come through for someone who might be seeing this reading. And I have asked that energy to take a back seat to this reading because I didn't feel like the messages were appropriate for YouTube, but I will share with you, this is a male energy. This is someone who's very remorseful. There was something tragic about what's happened for this person, and there's just a persistent energy around wanting to connect with somebody who may be seeing this video. So I feel like that's the most I can really share at this time. If that message is for you, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to offer any additional information that I can. But I have asked that energy to step away out of this reading because this reading is a general reading based on, soul messages and healing, and that is really the focus here at Light Guided. So thanks for bearing with me on the long introduction. Let's go ahead and jump in, Sagittarius, and I'm just going to take another moment to really ground this reading, really ground this space, and tune back into to your collective energy. So with that, all right, beautiful. Let's go ahead and get an overall energy here. And I'm still hearing Midnight Special. I don't know who sings that song. Okay, all right, Sagittarius, really grounding this energy. So here we have the crowning energy. This is the overarching energy of your reading, is the energy of stillness. For some of you, you may need some stillness right now. You may be craving some peace, some time away. You might be needing some time away. For others of you, you may have been in a period of stillness, a period of, they're telling me it's not the energy of withdrawal, but it has been an energy of going within and trying to find that inner place of peace. So some of you might be practicing meditation, mindfulness, that kind of thing. Give me just a moment. I'm seeing if there's any additional messages here. Either way, what they're telling me is that you're coming into an energy or into a period of time that's going to be a little bit more enlivened. And again, this could be directly related to for some of you, maybe having been in physical isolation from a lot of people or physical distance from people. You may be now at the beginning of, starting to reconnect, but that's only for some of you. This feels more like an inner journey. This has been for some of you a real time of looking inward, learning who you are, learning your energy. It's really quite beautiful. And so yes, they're showing me now that you have this foundation within you, this place of peace within you, now you're ready to start having more interactions, and a more enlivened energy is coming your way. Okay. Oops. All right. So the way I like to do these readings, for those of you that may be new to the channel, I usually pull a past energy, like a recent past. What are you emerging from? Then I look at current energies and how those energies are affecting you subconsciously, consciously, and at the higher conscious level. I also take a look at what needs to be healed and released, what needs to be sustained, and what needs to be started, as well as an overall outcome. And then I pull some oracle cards and some soul messages for you. So let's take a look here, Sag, at energies of the recent past. They're asking me to pull 2 cards. One moment, please. Thank you. Energies of the recent past. Wow, you are never alone and believe in yourself. Some of you may have, maybe that's part of where this stillness energy came from. Some of you may have ended a relationship. That relationship may have ended due to something unexpected. Somebody may have passed over. Oh. Okay. So the energy that I was picking up earlier, that may be here for someone listening. But this may be the end of a relationship or the end of a situation that has led you to feel isolated and alone, and to go inward and to feel a little separate from others, to feel misunderstood. You've lost something very important to your identity. Or I could say it this way, that something very important to how you see yourself has shifted. It has changed. Whether there was a concrete loss of something or whether there was just a shift that has caused you to feel that loss inside. And yes, I'm getting additional confirmation for some of you. There are energies from the other side trying to reach out from you and trying to reach out to you. For some of you, I'm really hearing this is for a very small number of you. You may have untapped talent or untapped skill as a medium, as a spiritual medium, and that may be why this energy is coming through at this time. That you're being, it's like you're being tapped on the shoulder. Okay. So also seeing here, believe in yourself. So whatever the situation was that caused you to kind of have this inner rift, this sense of separation from self and others, it also caused you to lose a little sense of balance in terms of who you are in the world. Excuse me. Hold on one moment, please. There is an energy here of rebuilding. So for those of you who this is resonating for, again, maybe there was a loss of a person, the loss of a relationship, the loss of a situation. For those of you that this is resonating for, there is an energy of rebuilding, like trying to get your footing, trying to get stable again, but also recognizing that you might have to do that differently moving forward. That maybe the way that you've done that in the past didn't work or isn't working, and that you need to gain some new skills and new tools. Okay, I am hearing the words, I'm sorry. So for that person who may be watching this reading, that spirit energy is still coming through, and I am hearing I'm sorry. And they're pretty persistent. And as I said, if that is a message for you, please feel free to reach out to me and we can talk through that. All right. We have, I don't know why I pulled 2 cards here. It just felt right to do that. The first energy out is regeneration. This is the energy of, this is like similar to the death card. This is an energy of, kind of where destruction happens, and again, everything you've known has fallen apart, but because of that, this new beautiful energy, this new beautiful life can emerge. And even though this is in the position of the current energies, I'm hearing that some of you aren't quite here yet. You haven't quite seen how this situation is serving you into this new growth period. And most of you are just feeling like you're right at the edge, where you're totally out of your comfort zone, you're totally out of your realm, you just aren't sure. You're not sure. You have unsure footing right now. Let's take a look at what's happening at the subconscious level here. Wow. Okay. At the subconscious level, you are feeling this incredible weight of the situation, and the weight is a burden to you. This emotion, this feeling, the situation itself feels like a burden, and you're trying to figure out how do I lighten this? How do I get through this difficult time? How do I find the light again? How do I find the light so that I can move forward? For others of you, there's a message here about taking on the burden of others. So, and sometimes that gets confusing. Sometimes we have our own burdens, and sometimes we unconsciously take on the burden of others. So if you think that you might be in that kind of situation where you recognize that you're taking on the burdens of the world, you're taking on the burdens of others, just pay attention to that. There's an energy here of freedom. This is very similar. This is like, I'm trying to remember the tarot that corresponds with this. I think it's the Eight of Swords, where you're sort of in an energy of being trapped, but it's by choice in a way, even if it's unconscious choice. You notice in this energy here, even though she's in this bird cage, right? The quality of the materials here are like they're ethereal. They're ethereal, so she can just walk right out of this cage. She's not truly trapped. It's an illusion. The sense of being trapped is an illusion. There's also a sense, though, by being in this energy, that there's an important growth for you here. There's a little bit of this energy of stillness here that is about, finding that inner peace, coming to peace within. Okay. And then we have this energy of fertility. I feel like for some of you, where this storyline is resonating, I feel like for some of you that this has been an energy, like something that you're missing, this energy of serenity, the energy of creativity, the energy of feeling like you can rest and be at ease. There's a little bit of a sense through this energy that it's hard to be at ease right now, and understandably. Let's take a look at the conscious level. So at the conscious level, this is the energy that you're aware of. Or I should say, it's the energy we're usually aware of. We're not always aware of our conscious energy, even if it's at the conscious level. How is that possible? Oh, it's possible. Believe me, it's possible. All right. We have some beautiful energies here. At the conscious level, you're really trying to come to terms with the truth. And you're pretty good at this process. You're pretty good at looking at what is and just coming to peace with what is so. And so that is part of at the conscious level, what you're really trying to deal with right now is what is so. What is so. At the unconscious level, you may be feeling trapped, but at the conscious level, you're wrestling with what is so. Interesting, we have the energy of protection here. Again, seeing this world, the globe in this beautiful energy. I feel like, hold on one moment, they're drawing my attention to look at this a little bit more closely. What I'm being drawn to, what I'm feeling from this energy is that you're it's almost like you have a foot in two worlds right now. Not the way I would normally read this card, but that's what they're showing me. It's like you have a foot in two worlds. You have a foot in this very spiritual world, and then you have a foot in this other part of your life that maybe doesn't fully align. And because of that discrepancy, because you haven't been able to find how to integrate those two parts of yourself yet, this situation feels much harder to you because it feels like a fragment. It feels like you've become fragmented. But what they're calling my attention to is that this experience is also about learning to come into more alignment and integration within yourself. And the energy, when we look at protection, when we are more attuned to how we are as spiritual beings in the human realm, we do have more emotional protection from situations that are very difficult, because we have a way of understanding life. We have a way of understanding our place in life, and that affords us a certain amount of inner emotional protection. We have the energy here of manifestation, and this is what I'm getting from this energy in this particular reading is that there's part of you that it's like you want some of this situation to just go away. So you're trying to focus your energy on, how do I now manifest something different? How do I manifest something that I want? But you're still in kind of immersed in some of this energy. So it makes it difficult. And there's, again, a little bit of that inner conflict happening because you're trying to manifest, you're trying to move forward. But oftentimes, we struggle to do that until we can heal and integrate. As we can become more integrated, manifestation becomes, it changes, and our understanding of manifestation changes. Let's take a look here, Sagittarius, at what's happening at the higher conscious level. And at this level, this is kind of where spirit is taking you ultimately. These are things that you'll ultimately come to understand, but maybe at this time you're just not aware of at all. So let's take a look at the higher conscious level. Wow, interesting. Interesting that we have the energy of grieving in this position. Also notice here, there's a couple things that are really drawing my attention. One is that the energy of transformation, which is shown up in several of these cards. Regeneration is an energy of transformation. The birds in the freedom card, and also the butterflies in the protection energy here. And I'm also being drawn to these circles, right? So this is kind of like coming full circle into something, or coming out of something, like a cycle is completing. And interesting, like I said, that grieving is coming up here, because if you have lost someone and you are in that energy and you're moving through that, at the higher conscious level, what I'm seeing or being shown here is that this is part of your growth. This is part of your, it's a really important part of your transformation. So not to resist it, but to begin to integrate, what this energy is for you, so that you are feeling a sense of more wholeness. They're also telling me, for some of you, if you've gone through a loss, if you've gone through the loss of a loved one, somebody may have passed away. If that's true for you, whether or not you have mediumship capabilities, because this applies to all of you who have lost someone, but some of you do have mediumship capabilities as well, that this energy, as you learn to process this, it's part of what you're bringing into the world. So in other words, if you have mediumship capabilities, this situation may move you in the direction of providing mediumship services to people who've lost a loved one. For others of you that do not experience the mediumship piece but have lost someone, this part of the journey, the grieving part of the journey, is about you learning also about the grief process, so that you can help others through that also, as a counselor or something like that. We have the energy of clarity. This will become very clear to you. As time goes on, as healing happens, you will come into great clarity about this whole situation. And there's an emotional reconciliation here. This is an emotional reconciliation within the self, finding that integration, finding that peace. I've never had this ever in a reading, but this is what they're telling me. If you've, okay, sometimes I just wonder, but here you go. If you have had a person who's passed and you are experiencing the ability to connect with them as a medium or in some kind of spiritual way, that you will be reconciled while the other person is in the form of spirit and you are in the form of body. And do you remember I was talking about that here in the energy of protection? It's like having a foot in two worlds. They're showing that to me again here, that you may have this reconciliation even though the other person's on the other side of the veil. Okay, so I've never had that message before. It's kind of interesting, but that is what they're showing me, and I'm just the messenger. I'm just the messenger. All right, my dears, let's see what needs to be healed. Let's see what needs to be healed. Wow. That's the energy of flow. Learning to let go, learning to trust, learning to allow spirit to help you navigate through this situation. Letting go of diligence. This to me means letting go of being in your head too much, letting go of being too detail oriented. It's like you need to let the emotional energy flow here. And if you're too detail oriented, you can't get into the energy of flow. And then finally, wisdom. Sometimes thinking we know what spirit wants for us, and by being so clear what spirit wants for us, we actually miss what spirit wants for us. So again, this is a message of letting go and being in the flow, being in the rhythm so that spirit can bring these messages to you. Let's look at what needs to be sustained. What needs to be sustained in the month of October? Oh, beautiful. This is the energy of delight. I'm seeing this in a couple of different ways. I'm seeing this energy as, trying to connect in. Do you remember at the beginning of the reading, I was talking about emerging from the stillness and coming into a more enlivened energy? Well, we're coming full circle on that energy here. This is very much about making sure that you have those connections that uplift you. You are staying, you're staying in an enlivened energy and a joyful energy as much as you can through this difficult situation. Staying connected with friends, making sure that you're staying in connection with people that you feel supported by. And for some of you, they're telling me like play with color. So maybe some of you are artists or designers of some kind, or maybe you're painting your house, I don't know. But they're telling me play with color. Play with color. Oh, interesting. So we have the stillness energy again, and this is in the position of what needs to be started, what action needs to be taken. And they're bringing you back to stillness. That is so interesting. Spirit, is there a reason that you're bringing that Sagittarius needs to come back to stillness? They're telling me there's greater peace in the stillness the second time around. So it's kind of like as you emerge from this stillness, where maybe you've been processing some of this difficult energy, and as things become more clear to you and you have greater clarity and you move back into the stillness, that will actually be a place of peace for you. And very specifically, if you meditate or have a meditation practice, they're also showing me that that's the kind of stillness they're talking about. Being in connection with your own energy. Spirit, what's the outcome here for Sagittarius? They're asking me to use a different deck. Which deck? All right. What's the outcome here for Sagittarius, please. Wow. So interesting. So they just want you to know how supported you are. Oh, wow. There's like five cards here that came out. That's amazing. And they're all kind of saying a very similar message. We have Rhino Spirit, overcome any obstacle. You can handle this. It may be difficult, but you can handle it. Spirit has your back. The abundant universe will provide for you. Sweet results await, and now is a lucky time. So the outcome here overall is, as you emerge from this situation, there's just beautiful blessings here coming your way. Beautiful blessings. And a lot of those blessings are going to be about your internal journey and about your inner process. You know, changing the way that you see things a little bit, recognizing Spirit is with you and has your back. And using some of that energy to, you know, be in an energy of luck, being in an energy of, you know, being in a space of receiving. I'm seeing some receiving. Some of you may be, for some of you, they're telling me, the more you attune to the energy of abundance, the more you're going to start receiving. So to be really specific about not this manifestation energy, and maybe that's why they're pointing it out to me, not the manifestation energy of, oh, I want to be out of this situation and in something different, but rather than that, this is an energy of noticing everything around you that is already abundant. You know, maybe you already live in a nice home. Maybe you already have a car. Maybe you already have nice clothes or any clothes. Maybe you already have food in your refrigerator. You know, maybe one time last year you were able to afford something that was really important to you, and now it's in, you know, it's something that you have. So what they're telling me and all that, what they're showing me all of that is, start to see the abundance that's already around you, and that's going to help you in this energy, okay? In this energy overall. All right, beautiful friends. Let's take a look at a heart and soul message for you. And I'll also pull a soul card for you as well. Some of you may be star children, by the way. You are an ocean of light, unfolding through the infinite space of life. Through the space between each thought, you can see your true immortal nature. The oneness of spirit that dreamt itself into the many is a part of you. Like a whirlwind from heaven, it appears and reappears in its endless form. Heart and soul message for Sagittarius, please. Soul message for Sagittarius, please. Actually, that is for some of you. Hold on. We'll start with this one. Name all the things you love. This kind of goes back to that energy I was sharing with you before about, you know, focusing on the things that you already see as abundant, whether they're in your life or somewhere else. Like, you know, maybe you see an abundance of flowers somewhere, and it just really, you take note of that. That's this energy of name all the things you love. And I know this card says, make sure you're one of them. Make sure you're one of them. And this is for just a few of you. Where am I with my health goals? Where do I want to be? Why am I not there? What will it take for me to feel well? And you can replace the word health with anything that you want. Love goals, life goals, relationship goals, healing goals, spiritual goals. You can replace it with anything that makes sense. This does focus primarily on the physical body. So, all right. Well, Sagittarius, I hope these messages resonate. And certainly if there's anything here that has resonated for you, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Leave us a comment if you'd like. And if you have questions or concerns about the past, the person who's been trying to reach you through the message here, please reach out to me. If you send me, let's see, how would you do that? Send me a comment, or you can go to the website at lightguided.com below and send me an email, okay? And I will connect with you around that. Happy to. All right, lovelies, thank you so much. Until next time, I'm sending you much love. All the best.